jump right to it, but I also have important journey notes that also are part of the message. And it comes on the wings of a dragonfly. I've had a lot of dragonfly, as you can see, energy. And I'll tell you the story about how this one came to me and how I'm going to put it in epoxy. So let's get to the message. But dragonfly energy, this message is right on time. Seems long overdue, but is right on time to collect all of the information for the message. Oops, pardon me. I've been on quite a journey, and 1111 is definitely 111, 333, 777, def 444. The the usuals. A lot of 1111 energy, and a lot of things happening in the world. I'll start by saying that I'm a child of the Midwest, and I am currently exploring the desert areas of the southwest, west. And I've had some amazing experiences, and those documentations are coming up. Witnessed some very amazing things. A lot of beautiful people in this country, a lot of beautiful, beautiful people. And thank you, all of you. You make America beautiful. I'm an American. I love America because America is a beautiful country. The land, the beauty, like this land of all of these beautiful people, and they don't get enough of the limelight as much as the other kind of people. So I have this dragon deck, dragon energy, which we're going to start with, as well as this fortune cookie is going to be. They gave us 3, so that could be significant. And time to collect those goods. See if I can, oh yeah. Time to collect those goods. Oh, look at this. Look at the numbers. Hey, somebody. Those might be your lucky numbers, maybe. If you're feeling itchy, play. Have fun, No matter what happens, just have fun. Enjoy the excitement of the possibility, but so that might be significant. Time to collect those goods. That's what the dragonflies on the dragonfly wings. That's what the message is, and I have to tell you, I love it. I absolutely love it. Beautiful. So I have a new deck that I picked up in the desert while I was connecting to dragon energy. I refer to the ocean. I refer to the desert as the air ocean. It's a place that makes you want to fly. It's a place that makes you envision large birds and dragons just, leaning forward off a high peak or cliff and just, it's just the Great Basin. And so let's see what the dragon energy, because I picked this deck up in Las Vegas at a shop. I was doing laundry. Blue Atlantis something. It was next to a laundry shop, a laundry mat. So, oh wow. I'm gonna put those back. That was 4 cards. Very heavy energy. It's time to collect those goods. What was that? Okay. Thank you. Okay, this came out in my pre-shuffle. Both of them. All right. Let's pull a few more cards. This is the Dragon deck. The Dragons Speak. And it's based on the wisdom and knowledge of 3 dragons. A golden dragon named Lux. At least that's how I say it. Lux. A green dragon, Terra. And what looks like an indigo or maybe even like a midnight or black dragon named Umbra. And they have 3 different kind of energies, kind of above, below, within kind of, or an earth, above, below. Like, it's interesting, but we're going to get into it. Our minds, and Nourish is on the bottom of the deck. And there's a lot of chaos going on right now, which also came out. And it's time. So air, and it's funny that I'm talking about the air, ocean, and mind energy comes up. So we are going to definitely read that. Can we see better with this? Let's see, I'm gonna adjust this light over here. Perhaps add some more, a little better. Anyways, moving forward. Discernment is going to be very important, especially with the kind of things that are happening in our world, and things that are discussed daily, and people's moods and attitudes. Like, it's going to be very important. And there are some wow, Ancient Dragonfly and Earth Star Chakra. These 2 cards have been coming out a lot. Earth Star Chakra, wow, and Dragonfly. Time to collect those goods. You don't say. Spirit of Bear. Big Bear Lake was a place I got to visit, and this energy was in the last reading that I did. Wow. Yeah, strength. Even when you are your most vulnerable, you don't even know how strong you are. That's that mind energy, that air energy, that thoughts and belief systems energy. Move this over just a touch. There's a nourishing within. Yeah, mind. Okay. The Lakota tribe, Spirit of Bear. Lakota tribe representing ancestors, community, history. It's again, I'm getting that you're when you're with that bear energy, when you're at your most vulnerable, you don't even know how strong you are. You don't even know the strength that's just waiting to come out in self-discovery for you to see who you really are, a piece of that being within. So getting your mind and your intuition on the same page, your mind and your creative energy on the same page. Healing issues with masculine and feminine, and the sources from which they come from. You have so much power within you. Time to collect those goods. As I've been saying in my readings, you've done a lot of work. And it's noticed. The dragonfly that I found the first time I went through I went through the Great Basin. And when I went through the Great Basin, we left out of Pa Rump. And all I know is that we were coming, that we were out in the desert, and it's beautiful. I kept commenting how the desert looks like Star Trek or Star Wars. Obviously, I got to, Star Wars was filmed in the desert, and I got to visit areas where Star Wars was filmed in person. A girl from the Midwest, born and raised in the suburbs of Chicago, adjacent to the city. So experience, especially, with the life experience that I've had already lived, and, poetic tendencies, and being empathic, and being touched by things in nature. I was very touched by the desert, and I feel that it's something that Americans, you should really experience. And it is hot, but 98 degrees, 100 degrees with 100% humidity is also treacherously hot and dangerous. And in Chicago, we have people that die every year from heat, more people than they actually report. So, saying all that to say that, if you can handle that, you can handle the desert. I swear. And the night sky, the stars, the shooting stars, it's just so beautiful. It's just so otherworldly. And you can sense the openness, the energy to want to fly, to want to spread your wings. And just the rock formations, and the sense of something that you're even supposed to remember. Sacred serpent, interesting. On the bottom of the deck, and Spirit of the Bear again. Spirit wants you to know that you have a spark of the Great Spirit, God, the divine, the universe within you, all of that. Draw upon your strength when you are most vulnerable. And if that means that you need to go it alone, or you've been going it alone, you know what I'm saying? We watch movies about people's, soldiers or monks or students apprentices who go, prophets who go alone, go at it alone. People in tribes, a lot of tribal cultures, going on certain quests or rites of passage, are about being able to be alone, to be able to survive on your own. In certain tribes, a man had to go, a person, whatever, had to go, young boy, even young girls. There are these rites of passage where you have to go show that you can survive on your own with your own two hands. And there's a sense of that energy amongst this chaos that we're going through, where it's being projected to us as well. So the dragonfly, I found this dragon the first time I visited. So we go in at the Great Basin. There were these two rock formations, almost like a southern and northern oracle, never-ending story. These two round, huge, tall. They were almost like bookshelves or bookends, and there was this in between was this narrow view of the Great Basin. And once you passed through there, it just opened up into something that I couldn't grab my camera. I couldn't speak. I was just sitting there what the fuck? For miles, I couldn't to see, and there was this beautiful, kind of bluish, purplish haze. In the mountains were the same kind of shades of indigos and light purples and lilacs, and the desert floor. And when you looked straight up, it was just this beautiful line. The road was just this thin little line, and the cars were tiny little specks coming down the road in front of you, because you could see so far. This was just my experience, and it was beautiful. Like, and it was like this empty ocean, like an ancient ocean. That's what you feel like you're in when I'm in the Great Basin. I feel like I'm in an ancient fucking ocean. And as far as you can see, like, there's mountains, and then behind that there's more mountains, and behind that there's mountains, and then there's just like this purple hazy abyss, and you're just like, man, this is a place where dragons fly. This is a place where big thunderbirds flew. This is where you fly. And so you kind of get a sense of why certain organizations and factions are out there, amongst many. But Spirit of Bear, and there's 6 energy. I might read the Terra dragon, might be the specific message when we read the card about mind. Mind over matter, I just heard. Wow. And it's also interesting, these showed up in my reality in Big Bear Lake when I was looking at trees and aspens and different, locations of certain pine, and what do they call them? Deciferous trees, something like that. Trees that don't, like, they keep their needles or leaves or foliage even in whatever. I'm off. So Spirit of Bear. So the dragonfly, the first time I went, I went to stayed at the Oasis at the Death Valley, the Inn at Death Valley. And it's this, you're in like this basin, this saltwater desert Death Valley basin. And then there's this oasis of just this spring-fed palm trees and gardens, and they've got like a little stream and fountains running all through the little Oasis Hotel Getaway. And there's this beautiful spring-fed pool that is minerals in it, and they don't put chemicals in it, and they keep it really clean. They drain and refill it. It's just so refreshing. Like, you can just spend hours in there and you just float. Water is salty out here on the West Coast, boy. You just float, like even the inland water. But anyways, and there was a red dragonfly with orange wings. I'll have to post some photos of it. And then the next time we came back, I was in the spring-fed pool, and I turned around and this dragonfly was floating. He'd already passed. And dragonfly, I'm having a lot of like interactions with dragonflies. Dragonflies getting my attention, being very obvious, very friendly, very inquisitive. And I turn around and he's just floating behind me in the spring water. And so so immediately my first message was the ancestors. Some postcards. These might have messages for people. Matter of fact, let me show you this. These are just some of the things that I worked on. Stickers, I colored those stickers. I didn't really color them. Some kind of like scratch off from Michaels. It's really just nice little, they make bookmarks and stickers and journaling and scrapping and stuff like that, but really pretty. And I have a dragonfly, but I put it in the scrapbook. But this is kind of, I'm getting this message. The reason why I'm showing you this was my souvenir from Area 51. And I love it. This is a message like how the cow, the bovine, turned it on the alien. I loved this cup. It was like it's got a lid and everything. I love this cup. It's so cute. Because that's what it is. It's about doing something different, something unexpected. You're not as vulnerable as you think. That's all in your mind. Man, sacred serpent, the silver wolf, and the goddess butterfly. Man, yeah, you need to trust your own self, your own light, your connection, and it's going to be very important. in the days ahead, because the mind trickery is coming, because there is something happening, there is something coming, we all sense it, right? And I'm not saying it's good or bad, it's just, it's gonna be both, perhaps, at the very least. And it just depends on who that is, who you are, and where you are in your discernment and your spiritual awareness, the sensing of spiritual trickery, lies in history, any kind of covertness. This is why we are working on our discernment. Me, you, everyone. That's what this is right here. This is a classroom. And we're all working on our discernment so we don't get tricked. We trust ourselves, our mind, our intuition. When we are faced with those, what I think is going to happen is, I think that people who are in power want to stay in power. And I think that's something very shocking, but also hauntingly miraculous, hauntingly prophetic, hauntingly evolve, part of evolution. Like something is coming, and some of us are even the ones who know or have a sense, it's still gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Having a knowing and a sense of riding the scariest roller coaster at the, at Magic Mountain, like Goliath or X2, like knowing that is gonna, that those are intense rides, and actually experiencing it are two different things. So like even the people who are the most knowledgeable, and can say that it's still gonna be, it reminds me of that scene from War of the Worlds when Tom Cruise's son in the movie is like, Dad, let me go. I have to see this. Like, I have to go see this. Like, you can't. And it's almost, again, another rite of passage. Like, you know what I mean? And that was, to me, that was a very compelling scene. So because we have the sacred serpent, the silver wolf, and the goddess butterfly, you are ready to fly. Lots of butterfly energy too. Silver wolf, this just came up the other day. This is about trusting the intuition that has always guided you. The silver wolf became the silver wolf. The silver wolf, follows her guidance. And there's an energy of something nudging you, something with you, something that has got you this far. Now you're ready to fly. See, we have that spreading our wings energy, rising up. The sacred serpent is about the Aztec temple of light, and about like something, an aspect of darkness being of the past, like that dragonfly energy, something being lifted. Your light coming back. Under that, what do we have? The sun god, crown chakra. Messages are coming in. Solar plexus chakra, grandmother moon, stop it, with the silver wolf and moon energy. We have a new moon coming up. Man, oh man. Spirit of bear. Get her done. I just heard get her done. Time to collect on those goods. Word. Man. King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. The Fantastical Creatures Tarot. So trusting your discernment about, what's coming. And having a true knowing of the Wheel of Fortune. Time to collect. And those, like the winners in this situation, a lot of the winners are those who meant no ill will towards anyone else. Never, like the birds. Wow. If you've been having interactions with ravens, grackles, crows, bird messengers. Yeah, there's, oh yes. Wow. Oh wow. Yeah, that sphinx, that white bird, the crane. What do they call it? An obese. Oh, what's the word? When I was in the desert, there was one fishing in the water. So the dragonfly told me that that there are ancestors that have literally are able to rest now because you have carried the bloodline, you have broken a chain, you have liberated. Eight of Cups underneath that. Yep. Some kind of energy that I feel has been with your bloodline for a long time. This is an energy of some Eight of Cups, you know. We know Eight of Cups is controlling, manipulating energy, things that no longer service relationships and emotions, that, you know, time to walk away from something and release something. This is the energy of, you know, beings that drown you and fill their cups up. And the Magician underneath. Interesting. You might be getting, your intuition might be coming in stronger as well. What is our message from the fantastical creatures in regards to the dragonflies? What message does the dragonflies hold for us? You know, dragonflies representing ancestors, leading to let something go. Something is signaling you to let go, that it's time to let go of something. When you create space and room by letting go of something, you allow for something new to come in. Yeah, this flipped over right away, yeah. Folks, King of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. The Lord of the Green Wood. And the High Priestess. With the winged serpent. Very, very interesting. I shall read the High Priestess. Which is exactly being in tune, being informed, you know, being in the light, trusting your the signs, trusting your intuition, trusting your mind. You know, the High Priestess, that's about balance. Knowing the truth. There's, and the King of Pentacles with the Five of Wands and the King of Cups. Yeah, there's something that's tried, you know, this, when you're in tune, when you're in your High Priestess energy, you can't be manipulated. You can't be lied to. Whether in a relationship, whether by an organization, a person, you know, you sense it, you know, like something ain't right. And there's, you know, there's a great feeling, a very positive energy of trusting yourself again. And the mistakes that always feel the worst are the ones where we knew, right? We knew. But we didn't listen. So the High Priestess and the Winged Serpent, the number 2. A lot of 222 energy, which is also 6. Which we have the Spirit of Air, 24. You're growing, you're developing something, your intuition, you're learning from the past, transmuting your past and transforming it into positive energy. I always think of that Lauryn Hill line, you know, turn a negative into a positive picture. And for those who don't remember, we used to develop pictures from actual like negatives, which was opposite. If you look at a negative, you know what it is. Anyways, so in the old camera system, so this is Egyptian, and it's Uazit, Uazit. I'm going to say Uazit because I like it. Known to the ancient Egyptians as Uazit, this cobra goddess appeared on the crown of pharaohs as the Eurasius, the upraised cobra. It's just funny that I just saw a video yesterday. Maybe this might be a synchronization of like a cobra in like this little trickling stream, and like a fish rolls up and sees the cobra in the water kind of raised, and it like flips on its back, and then this frog comes up behind him and sees the the cobra and flips over too. It's a funny video. So that just made me think of that, and especially seeing it looked like a cobra. Uazit appears in a variety of forms: a winged cobra, a crowned cobra, and we had the crown chakra with the sacred serpent. I'm probably gonna have to read this then, because there's a serpent, there's something rising in you. A crown cobra, or a woman wearing a vulture headdress and the red crown of northern Egypt. Interesting. In human form, she holds a papyrus scepter with a long snake twined around it. A goddess of great power and magic, Uazit was closely connected with the god Ra and the goddess Isis. The scrolls and the hieroglyphs represent hidden spiritual mysteries and ancient magical practices. Divinatory meaning: a secret will be revealed. Use the intuition to understand and solve a problem. This card can represent an important woman in a man's life. You have the King of Pentacles in here, so one of my brothers from another mother. There's a high priestess is coming in your life, a very powerful, gifted. Her aura will be very strong. Again, use your discernment always. Something about posture, something upright, and something about her posture, the way she carries herself, the way she sits, her form, her neckline, her collarbone, something. Even the way she dances, but she's very special. And if that doesn't resonate, this is about within, the high priestess with energy, the gifts coming out. It's time to collect. And the magical uses used to represent the goddess on the altar or during meditation, used to help you seek your spiritual path or see into your future. Using protection spells, particularly for major changes. And in this chaos, so you have power, you have assets to protect yourself in all this chaos. Don't let the Five of Wands, the trickery, and this is about like this I forgot what this entity's name is, but it's this on the Five of Wands energy. It's meant to try to challenge you and get you to either use your tools of war to fight or to dance, which is really very interesting about how some are gonna get through the way we're gonna get through, the coming future. It's interesting because this Mind card and this Sacred Serpent have a lot of I don't know, there's something similar there. So we're gonna, you know, there's something, you know, a great major changes, great metamorphosis is happening within below. So it's going to be very important for you to trust your instincts and intuition. Like now more than ever. It always has been, it always will be. But your messages from your divine source, you know, it's very important for you to be in tune with what's happening. But it's time to collect. Hold on one second. I think I